Chapter 3, The Best Laid Plans. Stand in Daisy's sorority room, facing down her suspicious roommate, Faye. Something's up with you tonight, Daisy, and as your friend, I deserve to know the truth. What do I do? She's clearly upset, but telling her the truth could ruin everything for me and Daisy. I should... Sure, why not confess? You're right, Faye. As Daisy's friend, you do deserve to know the truth. What do you mean, as Daisy's friend? The truth is, I'm not Daisy. I'm Rose Julivar, Crown Princess of Monterey. Is this some kind of joke? Because I really don't get it. It's not a joke, Faye. It's the honest truth. Daisy and I met by chance in the Royal Conservatory, and we discovered we somehow look exactly alike. The real Daisy is in the palace, being me for the weekend, and I came here to experience a normal life. Faye stares back at you for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Does she still think you're trying to prank her? I know it sounds like something out of a fairy tale, but I believe you. You do? Just like that? I mean, it was already suspicious when you suddenly wanted to go to clubbing. Daisy would kill for a chance to explore the palace. Besides, a story like this is way too crazy to be a lie. That's a fair point. I'm just relieved to hear you believe me. As long as you're not a body snatcher for one of those Sophia's horror movies, that means I get to room with an actual princess. Not only for, but only for a weekend, and you have to promise to keep it a secret. Of course, Your Highness. I mean, Princess Rose. Rose is fine, between the two of us. Rose, it is. But in exchange for keeping your secret, I could really use your help. I have the funding meeting tomorrow with the heads of Greek houses, and I really want to secure a solid budget for the Deltas, but funding meetings can get pretty intense, and, especially with Stephanie there. Will you come as my wing woman? I was gonna ask Daisy, but, well... Faye... I'd love to attend. Really? It doesn't sound boring to you? Of course not. I'd love to see more of the sorority life in action. Besides, after all the fun I had with the Deltas last night, it's the least I can do to repay you. You're doing me a huge favor, Rose. That's more than enough for repayment. The next morning, you wake up in a bed very different from the luxurious Ford poster you're used to. Maybe I should give Daisy a new mattress. She deserves better back support. You get up and stretch just as Faye trots into the room. Morning, Your Highness. Rose. Right, sorry. Still getting used to the little princess thing. As soon as you're dressed, we can head over to that funding meeting. You'll want to wear something sharp, but not too ostentatious. Daisy's wardrobe to the rescue. Go in Daisy's closet, flipping through the outfits until you find a chic, classy look. This outfit is to die for, and dressing like a proper sorority girl will surely help me and Faye fit in. Wow. Okay. Just kind of having flashbacks to Harry Potter where the chick was all in pink. So, do I resemble Daisy? If I didn't know any better, I think you were Daisy. That's exactly what I was going for. Faye leads you across the campus to a building not far from the Delta's house. You stop at an elegant hall where the heads of other houses sit around a table, sitting, chatting, and sipping artisanal lemonade. Well, look who decided to show up! I thought you might skip this meeting after your eventful night out. No idea what that means, but you're, from the Deltas, right? Looking sharp. Did I forget there was a dress code again? You're fine. We Deltas just happen to take Greek life very seriously. Faye shoots you a grateful look as you both find seats. Stephanie clears her throat from one end of the meeting table. If everyone's finished falling at the Delta's feet for their unusually on-point fashion sense, we'd like to begin. Now that everyone's seated, let's get roll call out of the way. I'm Samuel Lewis, speaking on behalf of Julie Bart's premier Academy House, the Sigmas. That's a little presumptuous of him. Presumptuous is Samuel's middle name. I, of course, am Stephanie DuPont, speaking on behalf of the Theta Sisters. Trey in the house, speaking for all my Zeta bros. He holds up a hand for a high five, but Stephanie and the dreamy-eyed girl seated on the other side of him leave him hanging. I'm Kit, currently embodying the spirit of the Kappas. We avoid terms like lead and represent in our collective. Everyone deserves to be their own leader. Only you can find your soul's true destiny. On that frankly bizarre note, I think that everyone except, oh right, the Deltas. Faye Hernandez, leader of the Deltas, and this is Daisy. Bodyguard. If anyone wants to mess with her, they'll have to go through me first. Give Stephanie's an icy glare. She doesn't even flinch, but Kit and Samuel exchange an odd look. I respect that. Real teens gotta have each other's backs. As you know, we're here to discuss house funding, which brings me to some bad news. Per Julie Bart's charter, every Greek house must have a minimum of 15 pledges to remain open and receive funding. But a bunch of Deltas dropped out after last semester. We only have 5. Which is why the Delta Theta Delta sorority will sadly be shut down at the end of the semester due to low membership. What? Stephanie doesn't even look remotely sad, but Trey and Kit shift awkwardly in their seats, and Samuel looks even more serious than before. This can't be happening. Why didn't anyone tell us about the membership clause before now? Oh, no other house has ever had a problem keeping its members, so it never came up. Stephanie, you're giving off very toxic vibes when the Deltas need understanding. So that's it? Our house is just doomed? We need to fix this. What would it take to change your minds? Honestly, a miracle. The charter is very specific about the requirements, Miss... What even was your name again? Daisy, and I find it very hard to believe there's nothing we can do about this. I need some air. Faye stands up, her chair skidding behind her, and dashes out of the room. Faye, wait. Racing after Faye, you find her slumped against a wall outside the meeting hall, her face buried in her hands. I'm so sorry, Faye. I can't imagine how you're feeling. I've been running the sorority all year. The girls counted on me, and now we're going to be split up. It's all my fault. Daisy told me you lost some members over the holidays, but I had no idea it was this dire. Neither did I, apparently. I don't even know where everyone will go if Delta House is shut down. I can't even see Savia or Astra in the Thetas. Faye, we need to pull it together and fix this. There's nothing to pull together. You heard them. The school's shutting us down. Ah, but they said by the end of the semester. Oh, yeah. But they haven't shut you down yet, have they? Not until the end of the semester. Then we can't give in in despair when there's still time to come up with a plan. If they're going to shut your house down over low membership, the solution's obvious. You need more members. And the best way to recruit them is, what? Advertising with really nice flyers? Try throwing the house party of the century. Say, tomorrow night. It would be a perfect way to show prospective pledges just how fun the Deltas can be. It's not a bad idea, but it'd be a lot to pull off on such short notice. We haven't hosted a party in, well, years, and there might be a problem. Then it's a good thing you won't be doing it alone. I may not be able to attend once Daisy and I swap back tonight, but for one last day on campus, I'm at your service. You'd really do that for us? I don't want to waste your last day outside the palace. Faye, I got to go clubbing for the first time and possibly only time in my life thanks to you and the Deltas. If I can use the rest of my time to help all of you, I'm more than happy to. He squeezed her shoulder encouragingly, and she swipes away her tears, putting on a determined smile. It sounds like we've got a lot of work to do. An hour later, you and Faye are back at the bustling quad, waving hastily typed flyers at passerbyers. Party at the Deltas tomorrow night! Free drinks at the Delta's house tomorrow night. Delta Theta Delta House Party. 7 p.m. Party till you drop. Delta House. By the way, I'm just gonna say this. The name is stupid. Delta Theta Delta? Like, really? Most people just stroll past, as they have since you got here. But one student perks up at your words. If the drinks are free, give me one of those flyers. Thank you. You won't regret it. You've just earned your first possible pledge. Your pledge score represents how many new pledges the Deltas have recruited. Maybe we can make this party happen. As soon as the words leave May's mouth, another student stops to take a flyer from you. If this party's as stylish as it hosts, I'll tell my friends to check it out. Yes, please spread the word. Think I can get one of those flyers? Here you... Oh, it's you. In the flesh. If you don't mind my saying so, you clean up pretty well after a night on the town. He gives your outfit an admiring glance, a smile playing at the edge of his lips. I do what I can. Glad it hasn't escaped your notice. Devin. I was hoping I'd see you again. Funny, I was hoping to run into you too. It's nice to know you weren't just a very detailed daydream, but what are you doing on campus? I'm doing a column on campus clubs for the Julivart Journal. It helps pay rent while I finish my master's. Plus, I get to stay in the loop about what everyone's getting up to on campus. Journalism? So that's what you meant when you said you were a writer? I don't think I caught your name after that rescue at the club. I'm Faye. Devin, right? Devin glances at the flyer in his hand. So, how's the flyer business going? Getting any interest other than me? Not much. You'd think a party with free drinks would be enough to get people interested. Parties are a dime a dozen, unless you're planning a showstopper. The invites won't be enough. Devin takes the flyer you gave him and flips it over. He quickly sketches an alternative design on the bag. Oh, well, that is a lot more flashy and catchy. Are you sure you're a journalist and not a graphics designer? Drawing is just one of my hobbies. This is so much better than my old design. Give me 10 minutes and I'll get us 100 more copies to pass out. She quickly snaps a picture of the new flyer and dashes off towards the library. Why not just literally take the flyer with you and make copies? I don't understand. Thanks, Devin. This party really means a lot to us Deltas. To us. The house will be shut down at the end of the semester if we can't get enough pledges to stay open. Seriously? They can't just split up your whole house like that. I know, but apparently they can. There's some ridiculous clause in the charter that matters to the campus and the happiness of a whole sorority. Imagine a sorority of one, though, that's the problem. Whenever institutions decide to care more about the letters of the law than the actual people, the people always lose. Are you speaking from experience? Just observation. I got into journalism to try and help the underdogs of the world, and you don't have to do it for long to notice the patterns. Okay, this man can preach about it. And the thought of you guys splitting up over a technicality is just so unfair. I wish there was something I could do to help. I don't suppose you know a dozen prospective pledges who you could drag to a party tomorrow? He shakes his head ruefully, but before he can reply, he's interrupted by the blare of a trumpet from across the quad. So this is where she went after high school. Alright, good warm-up, but I want you to really cut loose for the next song. Oh my god, they all came here. And I want to see more air on that flip, Gabby. I know you can get higher than that. A cheerleader responds with an enthusiastic jump as the marching band launches into a new song. Actually, I don't know any undergrads looking to pledge, but I do have a friend of a friend of a friend in that band. If you want to get the word out about this party, I could ask them to help us make some noise. With a marching band and a squad of cheerleaders on our side, I bet we can get the whole campus's attention. Let's spread the word. Grinning, Devin leads you across the bustling quad to a stretch of lawn that the band and cheerleaders have taken over. Hey everyone, you're Leia, right? Guilty, but I'm curious how you know my name. I'm a stalker. I'm good friends with one of your Piccolo's players' best friends. Devin, and this is Daisy. Oh my god, they're all here. The whole entire music band is here. I can vouch for Devin, he's cool. Nice to meet you, cool Devin. Is there something we can do for you? Actually, hi, I'm Daisy. My fellow Deltas and I are throwing a big house party tomorrow, and we are trying to spread the word. So, since you've already gotten the quad's attention, think you could help us make a little noise? I'm sure the Deltas would be happy to give you all, say, unlimited drinks at the party. The cheerleaders and the band members start murmuring with interest as Devin looks at you for confirmation. And a chance to provide music. Oh man, we could finally show off that those pop mashups no one lets us play during the games. You had me at unlimited drinks. What kind of noise are you looking for? Play something popular. The band huddles for a moment, and then an irresistible bass line starts pumping across the quad. Let's show this campus what we've got, girls. The cheerleaders start an improvised routine of the band players, and a crowd immediately start gathering on the lawn. Woohoo, free concert! Come on, Daisy. We can't let them have all the fun. Devin shamelessly starts dancing to the beat, his moves almost putting the cheerleaders to shame. Granting he beckons for you to join him. You haven't even seen fun yet. As you start dancing beside Devin, the crowd starts moving too, cheering and jumping to the beat. You never told me you got moves. And just going where the music takes me. I should bust a move. Then let's see where it takes me. You let the beat flow through you and pull off a series of dance moves you've only seen in movies. Go Daisy. Damn, that girl's got rhythm. You and Devin both strike poses as the band ends the song with a flourish and the crowd erupts into applause. That was epic! Thank you all for joining us, and while we have your attention, my friend Daisy here has an announcement to make. You should all come to the Delta's party tomorrow night, because this is how we party. The crowd cheers and responds. I do like to party. Alright, why not? Me and the boys can stop by for a little while. The cheerleaders come by behind you and suddenly lift you up on their shoulders. Oh. Let's hear it for Daisy and the Deltas. You strike a confident pose as the crowd below you cheers. Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. Thank you all very much. I hope I'll see you tomorrow night. Take a flyer for more details. Faye bursts through the front of the crowd, waving a chef of Devin's new flyers, and practically every student on the quad tries to grab one. As the cheerleaders gently lower you down, the band members help pass out the last of the flyers, and Faye pulls you in a huge hug. That was amazing, you guys. I could hear it all the way from the library. You were natural up there in the spotlight, Daisy. It was exciting. I was a little worried I'd fall off a cheerleader's shoulders and faceplant after all of our hard work, but I am here, faceplant free, and this party is going to be amazing. You handle the attention like a pro, not to mention the dancing. Well, I couldn't have pulled off any of this without my dance partner. And even if half of these people show up for the party tomorrow, we just might be able to get more pledges. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go spread the word in the cafe. You hit the lounge and we can meet up later. She hands you half the flyers, and she's holding, dashes off across the lawn. So, you'll be at the party tomorrow, right? I wouldn't miss it. But, just in case, feel free to triple text me and remind me. He jots down a number on Faye's old flyer and hands it to you. I'll see you tomorrow night, Daisy. He waves and spins around on his heel and saunters away. See you tomorrow. And then it hits you. Except I won't be here tomorrow. Daisy will. Later that afternoon at the Royal Palace. You're pacing in one of the palace's drawing rooms when there's a knock at the door. Hello again, Princess Rose, ready to plan the welcome ball. I think you owe me an explanation first, Prince Clark. Whirl on him as soon as the door closes behind him. You had plenty of time to tell me who you were and why you're here, when we were climbing trellises and stealing scones. Why didn't you tell me? I must not believe in honor among thieves. You give Clark your iciest, most regal frown to make it clear you aren't amused. He holds up his hands, placating. I honestly thought you'd figured it out. We have met a few times before, if you recall. Though, I admit, I almost didn't recognize you until we got to talking. He hesitates for a moment, his gaze flickering over you. You've grown quite a bit since we were kids. You're different than the Rose I remember. Clark, I don't have time for your games. No one has any time for fun around her, it seems. I don't find it fun that I'm suddenly expecting to court a smug prince I barely know. Relax, Your Highness. I have no intention of proposing at the end of the social season. You don't? Of course not. This whole courtship was my parents' idea. I'm only here because Ishmar needs to extend an olive branch. We just have to smile, nod at each other for the rest of the season, and then we can go our separate ways. Oh, I guess that makes sense. It shouldn't matter, since he was only here to court the real Rose anyway, but your heart does an odd little flip. Of course, this is all assuming you can tolerate my presence for more than a few minutes at a time. I suppose I'll have to do, if we're going to pull off this welcome ball. I might not be able to enjoy it, but setting Rose up for a successful ball could help Monterey and Ishmar find peace. You sit down and Clark settles opposite to you, one leg slung over his knee, arms nonchalantly resting on the back of the couch. Avalon gave me a list, so we just need to discuss the decor. Entrees, music, the seating arrangements. You pluck the list off the table, and the end of it unrolls, revealing even more details to cover. So everything, no pressure. It sounds like rather typical stuff. I mean, you have planned plenty of other balls, haven't you? Of course. It's just that I never had to plan one with you. I promise I'll do my best not to royally screw anything up. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant I'm usually the one calling the shots. What if our tastes clash? That's probably why your father wanted us to do this. If we can't even agree on appetizers, what hope is there for our countries? Very well. You take a deep breath. If we want to send a message of unity about your visit, we could include some Ishmari wildflowers in the centerpieces alongside Monterey's roses. Very well. And maybe we could play some Ishmari music to acknowledge you and Aaron's home? Works for me. He gives zero shits, let's be honest. Okay, let's talk entrees. Glance at the options Aveline provided from the palace chefs. Swiss lasagna, Monterian roast duck, a traditional Ishmari stew. That's Aaron's favorite. But what if I offend the Monterians by not choosing our cuisine? It's fine, Rose. You're taking this awfully serious. Well, you're not being much help. Because it doesn't matter. For once, any trace of a smirk vanishes from his lips. He leans across the table, plucks the list from your hand, and tosses it aside. Hey! I'm sorry if I'm the first one to break it to you, Princess, but that's the deal for royals like us. No matter what you do about this ball or me being here, someone will hate your decision. And the powers that be will do as they please. Nothing at court really matters, so don't let it cost you any beauty sleep. if none of this really matters. Then it should be easy to form a useful opinion. He throws his hands in the air helplessly. Oh, I just told you not to make a difference. Do whatever you want. What I want is your help making this ball successful. Something you might actually have opinions on if you could bother caring for one measly second. Glare at him and suddenly realize how far you've leaned across the table between you. He's barely a breath away, his gaze locked on yours until you manage to look away, picking up Abilene's list. All that's left is seating chart, so if you aren't going to help me navigate the political minefield, I'll stop wasting your time. You really got your heart set on this, don't you? I do. He leans back against the cushions of his couch, sighing with resignation. Then I might be willing to offer some advice, if we make this more interesting. Say by ordering some desserts from your kitchen so we don't have to discuss politics on an empty stomach. Diamond choice. Dessert sounds perfect. Especially if it comes with a side of actual help. I'll do what I can. You order a tray of desserts from the kitchen, and once they arrive, Clark helps you lay them out on the table. I claim the chocolate souffle in the name of Ishma— Ow! You smack his hand away as he reaches for the souffle spoon. Don't eat Aaron. Didn't they ever tell you not to name your food? Easy to get attached that way. I'm naming them for a reason. Before we eat them, these desserts are going to help us figure out our seating chart. You and Aaron can be souffles. My father and I can be peach tarts. This plain shortbread is Lord Cecile and any other traditional Monterins. Fitting. These truffles are the rest of the court. Most truffles will probably be offended if they're seated too far from the king, Edmund Peach Tart. But if you put them too close to him and the shortbread's too close to the souffles, meaning me and Aaron, they'll be offended as well. Of course they will. That's easy. Mix it up. It's like you said, you're always going to rub someone the wrong way. You sigh and take a bite out of one of the peach tarts. Save me, delicious tart self. No, you literally mix them up. You completely scramble the seating charts. You literally put every other one as a Monterin, and the other one is the Ishmar people. It's as delicious as it looks, but it sadly doesn't solve the seating arrangements for you. Does anyone even know how this whole feud between Ishmar and Monterey started in the first place? Growing up, I was told that Monterey refused to send aid to Ishmar during an ancient famine, the worst one in our kingdom's history. Really? My history lesson says that Ishmar once tried to seize some of Monterey's land. Thanks, Jewel of Art's history program. I guess... both stories could be true. Maybe once upon a time Monterey did refuse to send aid and you did try to take Monterian land. But who offended who first matters less than the fact that we're still arguing about it 5 centuries later. That's a surprisingly open-minded view, Your Highness. Well, I'm not your average Monterin. You shift the dessert places around the table that represent your ballroom, testing out one configuration after another. I assume your father will need to be at the head of the table as the king. Yes, and these spots might work for Lady Agatha and some other nobles, but it's hard to want to seat anyone next to Cecil. I could minimize the damage by putting him at the far end of the table. Or try putting him near Aaron. Really? You want to inflict Cecil on your friend? More like inflict Aaron's good graces on Cecil. He could befriend an Ishmari great bear while in the middle of eating him. But this is your court, so it's ultimately your call. Now, then let's put Cecil next to Aaron. I'm confident Aaron will charm the pants off of him. As long as he doesn't do it literally. As you arrange the plates of sweets accordingly, placing Cecil next to his new nephew, Clark breaks off a piece of shortbread. You just ate Cecil. Oh, no one wants to do that. Now that we seated him, he's fair game. Consider it a reward for our troubles. Then I call dibs on the souffle. You'll have to find me a seat first. That's easier said than done. If we put you at King Edmund Peach Tart's side, I'm sure the court will read into that. You shift the souffle forward. True. It would be a gesture of political goodwill for the guest to be seated beside the king. But if you sat next to me, people might assume even more. That we're close, or that you're open to my courtship this season? Or both. Your gaze meets Clark's as your hand hovers over the souffle dish. Then the question is, which message do you want to send, Your Highness? Fine, whatever. You shift Clark, the souffle, towards your own peach tart, and the real Clark raises an eyebrow, smiling wryly. You'll give people the wrong idea if you aren't careful, Princess Rose. Maybe I just want to show a united front to get people more comfortable with the idea of this courtship. Clark's lip quirks in a teasing smile that already feels familiar, and for a moment, the smile already almost seems sincere. A noble sacrifice for the sake of diplomacy. You make short work of the rest of the seating arrangements, and before you know it, the whole guest list has been settled. And into your stomach as well, probably. We did it. I told you it'd be worth the effort. That depends on how everything goes tomorrow. At the end of the day, you're still trying to welcome two Ishmari guests to your court. I'm willing to bet that despite all of your planning, there are still plenty of fireworks, and not the fun kind. And you know what? I'll take you up on that bet. Oh, really? Really? If the ball goes well, you have to admit that you don't know everything. Oh, easy. And if I win, you owe me a favor. Deal. I still think this is all about the usefulness about rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. But I'll admit you have a knack for organization. It's nice to have my talents appreciated, even begrudgingly. And I believe you called dibs on this. Clark slides his souffle over to you. I'm sure you're eager to be rid of me. I just think that if I'm going to be stuck with you for the whole season, I deserve some compensation. That looks so good. You scoop up a spoonful of rich chocolate. It's decadent and messier than it looks. Rose, you got a little me on you. Giggity. He gestures to your cheek, reaching towards you. Why not? You turn towards Clark as he leans in close, using his thumb to brush the chocolate off of your cheek. You can feel the calluses on his skin, yet his touch is surprisingly gentle. Thank you. Anytime. It could be your imagination, but his hand seems to linger on your cheek for a moment before he pulls away. You both look down at your pastries arranged at the table, admiring your hard work. I really hope the court appreciates this ball tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing your face when you lose our little bet. He laughs and raises a truffle to you in salute. Likewise, Princess. Suddenly your phone buzzes with a text. It's almost time to meet up. See you in half an hour. Already? I can't believe it's been 2 days. Got Rose is a good time at tomorrow's ball after all the work I put into it. Rose, is everything okay? Everything's fine, I just realized it's starting to get late. Of course, I should let you get back to your duties. He stands and bows formally. Although he can't hide his usual wry smile, you suddenly realize you've never going to see again. This is my only chance to say goodbye. Clark, it was nice getting to know you. You may think that now, but you've only just started getting to know me. I'm sure you'll discover all of my many faults before long. I'm sure I will. Until tomorrow, then. Yes, until tomorrow. You hurry out of the parlor into the palace halls. You've only just gotten to know, and nearly run straight into Avalon. There you are. Let's get you to your rendezvous. She takes you down a well-hidden hallway, partially obscured by tapestry, stopping before an unassuming wooden door. This will take you to the hidden path out of the palace grounds. I'm sure you can find the conservatory from there. Thanks, Evelyn. I wish we'd had more time to get to know each other, but I appreciate everything you've done for me and Rose. She suddenly wraps you in a big hug. Do it all over again in the heartbeat. A short walk later, you slip into the conservatory and find Rose sitting beside the fountain. Sorry I'm late. I got caught up in the planning that ball with Clark. No need to apologize. You sit beside her she trails a hand through the fountain, wearing a wistful expression that you've seen in the mirror many times. Did something go wrong? And be honest, I can read your face as well as I can read mine. Everything went swimmingly. I mean, apart from the Deltas needing more members to avoid being shut down by the end of the semester. We're definitely going to need a minute to unpack that. But being you was wonderful, Daisy. It was even more freeing than I'd imagined. I know what you mean. Being you made me feel like I could actually make a difference. Sure, there's a lot of pressure, but getting to live beside kings, nobles, and seeing Monterey and Ishmar talk about peace, it felt like for once I was in a place where my decisions actually mattered. I'm glad. It's just a shame we already have to switch back. Yeah. You look at the crown princess of Monterey. She looks at you, and the same thought strikes both of you at once. But we don't need to switch! What if we didn't switch? Yeah, look at that. We could just keep being each other until, say, the end of the semester. Rose, are we crazy for even thinking about this? The longer we try to pull this off, the bigger the chances that we'll get caught. I know, but I'm starting to realize that being happy sometimes means taking risks, no matter how crazy they are. Then I'm in as long as you are. Just promise you'll keep my grades up. I have a major history presentation due this week. And we'll have to get you ready for your first royal ball. Oh my god, you're right. I've got to host tomorrow's ball. Quick, back out now, back out now. You've decided to stay in your new roles until the end of season, which means hosting Clark's welcome ball. The whole court is about to have your eyes on you and the Ishmari prince. Well, without further ado, thanks for watching. Much love and appreciation. And without further ado, sorry about being late on this. I actually completely slipped my mind. Yesterday I just the two chapters, and then I kind of just dipped and did some streaming, and I had to free my mind a little. And yeah, no, today I was doing choices, and it's like, oh shit, I forgot about this. Like, the way they've now made it, like, it just doesn't show up the way it used to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be like, out now! Versus, now it's just like, I don't know, it seems convoluted, the new, like, updates for this app. I don't know, just, I miss the old way, Anyway, without further ado, let me know how you thought about the, or may I say, not how, but what, but also how I did, but also what you thought of the chapter. I don't know, I just see Disney princess crap all over this, and I'm like, whatever, at least it's a change up from, the usual. So, thanks for watching. Peace out.